Hello, my crafty friends. It's Marie from Marie's Vermont Creations, and it is time for our collaboration for the month of April with Terra and Michele. I will link their channels down below for you to check out to see what projects they have made. Our theme for this month, we opted to do spring with Lawn Fawn products. So I am taking the Butterfly Kisses stamp set. That's what I'll be using for my card for today. And then I have Distress Oxide in tumbled glass and, oh boy, what's the green color? My goodness. That is Twisted Citron. It'll come to me eventually. I haven't done one of these in a while. I'm a little rusty. So I didn't do like a smooth blend with the tumbled glass because I wanted it to give kind of a cloud effect without getting out a cloud stencil. So I just left it a little splotchy. So now I'm taking the Twisted Citron to make my little grass area because I'm just going to make a springtime scene using this stamp set. So I am just going to blend that on. I tried to be pretty smooth with the green. The blue I left a little splotchy, like I said, because I wanted it to give myself the sky effect. So like I said, I am joining Michele from Scrap Secrets and Terra Mayhem Crafty Cards. This is our monthly collaboration. We try to come up with different themes or techniques or products, and we all have an extensive stash of things, so we knew we all had some Lawn Fawn products and figured we'd keep it simple and just go with spring. That kind of left it open-ended for us to do kind of whatever we were feeling for the day. So I am now taking the little fox and the net, the two clouds, and then the sentiment that says, "Have a happy day." And I am going to stamp these a couple of times in my Mini Misty, and I am using Gina K amalgam ink to do that because I am going to use my alcohol markers to color these images in. If you were not going to be using alcohol ink, you could definitely use a different kind of ink if you were going to do, say, watercolor or colored pencils, something like that. You don't need an ink like this because this one is specifically made to not smear when you use alcohol markers. So that's why I went with this one. But I did have to stamp them a couple of times. My ink pad's probably in need of a re-inking, so I do have the refill for this one, so it's something I should do. And then I am just going to do some simple coloring. I have sped this up, nothing fancy. You know that this is not the channel if you want to learn to color. I am one layer, put down one color, and move on. So while I am coloring, I did leave it in, but I did speed it up. And then off screen, I will cut out all of these images with my scissors. I keep saying that I need to update my scan and cut and actually use it because that's been sitting collecting dust for quite some time now. So that is definitely something that's on the list to get done. Let's see, since I last talked to you guys, I have had my hand checked out for my thumb injury that I had, and it was a sprain, and the orthopedic doctor thinks that I have a trigger finger in that thumb as well, so I'm trying to be patient and see if I can let it heal. So far, today and yesterday were pretty good. It hasn't really bothered me, but then I will just have some days where it just really annoys me, so I'm trying to give it some time. And if it does not heal, then she'll go in and do a little surgery to snip the area where it keeps catching and making my thumb get stiff and annoy me. So we'll see how that goes. I'm hoping to avoid it, but I'm coming up on 2 months now, so we shall see. So now that I have my images all cut out, and I'm going to lay this down so I can take this really cute, the trail from I'm going to make it a trail for a butterfly. It could be for a bee or whatever insect, but it kind of it's a heart. So I'm just placing where I want my little fox to be so that I can stamp this and not have it in the way. So I'm not colliding everything together. And so I am going to use that same, actually for the little trail, I used the VersaFine Claire Nocturne ink for that because I'm not doing any coloring on that. So that one I used a different ink because I do get a very crisp image when I use this, especially for sentiments. So I went with that one. But then I'm going to place down one of the larger butterflies out of the stamp set, and I will stamp that using the Gina K ink because I am going to color this butterfly in with the alcohol markers. And I just colored it right over the inked black background because they're such light colors that it doesn't really affect it. I went with a blue and a purple, so they go together anyway. So I figured the ink blending was light enough that I wouldn't have to worry about it. And so what is everyone working on for projects for yourself right now? I have actually been still into diamond art, so I've been working on that a lot. I also have been following, I can't think of her name, but her channel on YouTube is She Sews Seams, and I just made myself a tote bag. So I've been doing a little sewing. It's getting warmer, so I'm going to get out and work on some resin projects again. But also trying to get back into the swing of making cards. My next thing I'd like to do is send them out. Like Terra's birthday was just recently. Have I sent out her birthday card yet? No. Is it sitting on my desk and ready to go? Absolutely, but I just need to get it together and get it in the mail. So I am just gluing down my little images now that I've colored in my butterfly, and I'm just trying to make it look like the net is in his hand, so he is trying to catch that butterfly. And then I put the sentiment underneath him so he didn't look like he was floating so much in the grass, so I tried to put that on there. But after I put it down, I was like, everything is really to the left. That whole right-hand side is really empty. And of course, did I get ink smudges everywhere? Absolutely. So I'm just using my sand eraser, and then I will take what's left on my blending brush and cover that up where I've lightened it some, because that works great to get rid of all those smudges and smears that I tend to do because I'm a messy crafter and my hands are always dirty. So I'm going to glue down the clouds. I'll put one in this upper left-hand corner, and then the smaller one I will glue down off of the page some, so it kind of gives the illusion that there's more going on with the scene. And then I decide that I need something in that lower right-hand corner because it's just, to me, looks a little off. If I'd centered the fox, maybe it wouldn't have been so bad, or added another character. So I'm going to fill that in with some flowers from the same stamp set. Right now I'm just trimming off the excess portion of that little cloud that I have there. So I'm just using a stamp block, and I am going to use the Gina K ink because I am going to color these flowers in. Again, same concept. The green isn't, too terrible that I can't color over it. I was going to do multiple of this large, the bigger tall flower, and then once I got it down, I thought, nope, I'm going to end up screwing this entire scene up. So there's this little cluster of just the flower tops that I'm going to stamp down twice, just to give it like he's in a field of flowers chasing this butterfly. And then I will quickly color these in using a variety of alcohol inks or alcohol markers. And then I will get this panel glued down to an A2 size card base, and that is going to complete my card for today. Like I said, I will link Terra and Michelle's channels down below so that you can see what they have made. I don't know what they've created yet. Like I said, it was just lawn fawn and spring were their only things that we had discussed, so I'm curious to see what the both of them have come up with for their project. If you have any ideas or things that you would like to see us work on, or a challenge that you think that we should try, definitely feel free to leave it in the comments down below. We're always looking for inspiration and things that you guys might enjoy. I enjoy interacting with all of you, so I love it when you leave comments, and even if it's constructive criticism on a project, that's fine with me. I'm always looking for ways to improve on what I'm doing, and I appreciate every one of you who has taken the time to watch my videos, has subscribed, liked, any interaction that you have. I greatly appreciate it. Is it makes me quite happy. So I appreciate all of you. And as always, I hope that you have a great day.